Hi, I'm Brian Arcade. Welcome to my channel, and this is my husband.
Hello.
And this is Stories from Reddit. Actually. So, do you have the map?
The map.
Yeah, I'm gonna need directions to the high road.
Oh.
Because we're gonna be taking it while we judge people from these stories from Reddit.
We don't have GPS?
No, this is the Oregon Trail. Get your dysentery pills. All aboard. So, as usual, these stories are from the subreddit Am I the Asshole and r/advice. We have not read any of them, so we're going into them blind for our raw, genuine reactions. Let's get into it. This one is from Am I the Asshole? For asking why my coworker wears makeup every day. So I, 29 male, was working during a pretty long meeting with a few other coworkers. One of my coworkers is new, late 30s female, and the conversation steered around our professional experiences and history. Pretty standard stuff. Midway during reviewing some boring stuff, this coworker asked me with a smirk, "Can I ask you a question?" Since we were talking about our professional lives, I was like, "Yeah, sure, what's up?" And she started up with, "Why do you always wear hats?" Now, I'll be honest, I'm bald. However, I like my baldness. I started balding at 21 and I was like, fuck that, and just shaved it off instead of trying to style my hair in any way to hide it. But when I turned 25, I started being mistaken for 30 because of the bald cut, so I started wearing hats pretty much everywhere. Anyway, this coworker asks, "Why do you wear hats every day?" To be fair, it is a corporate setting, but it's also tech. We're in marketing and it's 2025. So smart casual is a rule of thumb, and my bosses don't care and dress in hoodies and hats to work. So I responded, "I like hats." And she said, "But every day?" So I said, "Yeah, I'm bald. I like my head shape, but I don't want to look like I'm 35. So I'll wear hats for now. Plus, I look good in them." Now, I wasn't thinking, and she's probably around 35 years old, so I may have offended her with this reply. But she replied, 29 wearing hats every day to hide. Wow. This struck a nerve with me, so I responded, "Well, since joining, I've seen you wear makeup every day, even casual Fridays or on your work from home team calls. So why do you wear makeup every day?" There was a muffled giggle, but it's clear the atmosphere was tense. She got heated and said, "That's a sexist question." And I said, "How? Other women in the office don't wear makeup every day, and my boyfriend sometimes wears makeup when we go out to high-class events. He doesn't do it every day, so why do you wear makeup every day?" She got heated and silent, and one of the old coworkers went back to focusing on the deck. I feel like she and I are not on the best term now. So, am I the asshole for asking why my coworker wears makeup every day? Side note, if you're hearing some grunting and snuffling, it's Stella. Was it, hi, Stella? So is this person the asshole for asking a woman why she wears makeup every day in response to asking why he bald fishes every day?
No.
Bald fishes? Hat fish? Sorry, that's a pun too, and I really fucked that up, didn't I? Hat fishes.
Yeah, no, he's not an asshole.
Okay. Can you explain?
There's equality in the workplace. You know, equality.
Do you think her question was sexist?
100%.
Okay.
100%. So he's not an asshole for responding in kind.
Okay.
She set the tone. He maintained it.
Do you think that she was being sexist because he was a man, or do you think she was being haircist?
What word are you trying to say?
Like hair privileged?
No, I think that she was being an asshole because she maintains that idea that you can't offend a man by asking a gender-specific question, that it's okay.
I think there's kind of an unspoken thing when you see a man. Now, I realize the irony here now because you're wearing a hat. he is not balding. He just has messy hair. But I feel like there's kind of an unspoken thing if you see a guy inside with a hat on his head that there might be a chance that he's balding. He might be self-conscious, right? And I think it's just something you might want to acknowledge and be delicate around and try not to judge them, because I think they're wearing that hat kind of as a shield against judgment. Well, and I think that a lot of people know that. So to see a man indoors in an office setting wearing a hat, to point it out, I think would be you're either totally unaware or you're being rude and obtuse.
If she doesn't have a military background, right, or if she wasn't brought up in the deep South, you know, get over it. Yeah. If someone's wearing a hat inside, get over it.
Also, like, I do not like that he's kind of being like, well, this old bitch. That's what he's saying. He's saying this old bitch had the audacity to ask me about my hats. Old makeup wearing hag.
I'll be little personal experience. I had a job a couple years ago. I was in the administration office, and a female coworker in there made a comment about the tightness of my denim. She just made it kind of offhand. She didn't, mean anything by it. Mm-hmm. I had at that time, this was 2018, I had put on a couple pounds. My jeans weren't fitting the way I wanted them to, and it pissed me off. Yeah. It pissed me off.
Well, let me just say, I love your thick thighs and the ass. Here's what I think a good rule of thumb is. Don't comment on people's looks, clothing,
bodies,
anything like that, unless you want to say, you look very nice today. I like that hat. I like that fat ass. You know what I mean? Nice ass. Say that to all of your coworkers. So is this person the asshole?
No,
not the asshole. This is from r/advice. I think I might be dating my gym bro on accident. I, male 21, have been good buddies with my friend, male 22, for 2.5 years now. We met in college in our second year and have been best friends ever since. A small look into the day of a life. We go to the gym every morning at 5 a.m. and we hang out after class every day. We are both business majors and are graduating this year. Every night at 9 p.m., we do the Stairmaster for 45 minutes, and then we watch Netflix on my phone in the parking lot before we drive back to our dorms. I think we finished like 4 different shows now. Right now, we're about to finish up watching the show New Girl. He's a really chill guy, and I'm happy bro is there to hang out all the time. We're the kind of people where when a mutual friend sees one of us alone, they'll go, hey, where's blank? We even go to movies together on Discount Fridays after we get our cardio in on the Stairmaster. We literally do everything together, from studying, meal prepping, hiking, drinking, traveling, and watching movies. I think it would actually be pretty sad if my bro ever got into a relationship, because I'd feel like I would lose my best friend. He said the same thing to me before. We have plans to share an apartment downtown when we graduate and get jobs after college. The reason I'm posting this is because one of my girlfriends asked me recently if me and him were actually together. She said that she had assumed that for so long. This took me by surprise, as you can guess, and now I just feel really confused and I need advice on how to proceed because now it feels awkward. Am I gay or something? Is this weird? I just want to hang out with my homie and not overthink it. Thanks for reading. Any advice is welcome. I hate that this poor dude has like a really good, healthy bond with like a male friend, like a healthy male friend closeness, which I think is a problem, right? I feel like a lot of men don't feel comfortable being like, I have this best friend. We spend a lot of time together, and Because I feel like women have an easier time. They have their girlfriends, they have a closeness to them. And I think it's kind of frowned upon if men have similar type of closeness in their relationships. Like, because people will be like, oh, are you guys gay? And then it's weird. So I think it's kind of sad. Somebody had to be like, are you guys gay? As if two men can't just have a closeness without it being looked upon as being gay. Like society frowns upon platonic male closeness.
That's not platonic male closeness.
What do you mean?
One of the two men in that gym bro relationship is in love with the other.
Stop. No, they're not.
Absolutely, 100%.
Well, he obviously isn't, because I'm sorry. If you're gay, you wouldn't be like, am I gay? You would just know.
He's not ready to come out to himself.
It's not true. This is the problem.
This is not judgmental. This is not shaming. This young man has not finished his journey of self-discovery yet. He doesn't know, or maybe he's not ready to admit to himself that he's gay. He's not ready to come out, and that's fine. He's not ready to come out.
See, just because you have never had a close male friend doesn't mean that every close male friendship means that somebody's gay in it. I honestly think you need a hug.
I would not sit in the parking lot for 45 minutes after finishing a gym session to watch all seasons of New Girl with my gym bro.
I wouldn't. You know what? I'm going to approach this as if this gentleman is not gay, because he doesn't seem to think he is, and he's overthinking it. I think this girl got in his head, made him question his perfectly normal, healthy, platonic relationship with his best friend. And I would like to say that it's unfortunate that you can't just have a bro, a close bro.
You can't just have a bro. He fell in love with bro.
He did not fall in love with bro. My advice would be
two bros.
Stop overthinking it. Husband doesn't know what friendship is. I'm his only friend, quite frankly. But I know there's a lot of you bros out there that sit in Discord with each other for hours on end, and not even playing video games together. I mean, I know some guys who'll just sit quietly just to enjoy each other's silence and company for hours. Just be a group of dudes.
But the guys in the post aren't doing that.
Yeah. They sit in Discord watching shared streaming together. So they're watching their anime or a Netflix show together. It's normal. I think men crave other, male bonding. And I think society needs to not judge that and make people feel ashamed of it. So my advice would be get some confidence. Love your bro. Give him a hug. In fact, I think you should tell your bros that you love them, you appreciate them, you want to be there for them, but not in a gay way.
Date your
unless you are, then that's another. But I'm just saying, if you're not, then
get the gains, then get the gains.
All right, I'm getting out of this topic. Moving on.
No hate, no shame.
This is from Am I the Asshole? The Reluctant Babysitter. I, 27 female, and a friend, 24 female, have kids the same age, too. We recently did a girls' beach trip. I left my child at home and my husband for the first time, and in consequence, for the first time in 2 years, was child-free. My husband does what he can regarding our kid and does a lot, but is gone a lot for work, so I've never been apart from my kid for more than a few hours. Before someone says I have a husband issue, that isn't the issue here. My friend brought her child, which no one in the group had a problem with at all, except my friend has a habit of letting, or rather forcing, others to watch/parent her kid. Every time we hang out, she kind of checks out, goes on her phone, or wanders off and sort of dumps her kid on the friend group. Well, on this beach trip, which was overnight, she did just that to me. Now, remember, this is the first time in a long time I've been kid-free, or at least my kid-free. And here she is dumping her kid on me. Her kid is asking me to play with them, walk with them, kid stuff. And I just want a break. But here my friend is playing on her phone, just totally checked out. I try to redirect her kid back to her, saying, "Oh, you should ask your mom to play." To which she says without missing a beat, "No, you have more patience for blank anyway. You play with him." My blood fucking boiled, and I explained to her that I left my kid at home because I wanted to be kid-free for the night and not babysit hers. She rolled her eyes, and I just lost it and told her to stop being lazy and watch your own kid. Of course, she was pissed, but the rest of the group had my back. But my friend was so angry, and I can't help but feel like I'm wrong. So is this person the asshole?
No. No. Not at all.
Yeah, I feel like the biggest mistake was bringing your 2-year-old to an overnight girls trip. It doesn't seem like there were any other kids there, and I feel like if you have to know, if you can't find a sitter, then you shouldn't go. Having one kid there, if it was like a family event, that's one thing, obviously, but just having one kid come to a girls trip overnight. I mean, it's a girls trip. Probably want to let loose. Listen, girls, I know you're out there. We're stressed, okay? We're tired. You want to go on a girls trip to get lit. You know, you don't want to be looking at a 2-year-old. I'm sure her friend's kid is very sweet. But if you can't find somebody to watch your kid, then you stay at home.
Or, worst case scenario, you bite the bullet and you still parent your child while you're at the girls' trip. The problem isn't her bringing the kid on the trip. The problem is her dumping the kid on her friends. Actively, willfully, deliberately.
Yeah.
And then not respecting your friend when they say, hey, not my kid, not my responsibility. I am kid free. I took the time, I made arrangements.
Yeah. This poor woman sounds like she needs a break.
She did. She did need a break. She thought she was getting a break. And then her friend took advantage of her generosity, which that pisses me off.
Yeah.
I hate when people do that.
I don't think she's an asshole. It sounds to me like she was at her limit, was looking forward to this break, and her friend did not take the proper steps to ensure that she had somebody to take care of her kid. And I feel bad for her friend if she can't find somebody to watch her kid so she can have a girls trip. But at the same time, it's like, you got to figure something out, or don't bring down everybody else.
That's one of the realities of having a kid, right? Maybe you can't go to the trip if you can't find arrangements.
Maybe she shouldn't have yelled at her. Maybe she could have spoken to her.
She said that she tried talking to her about it and she got dismissed.
Yeah, no, you're right. So, not the asshole. Yeah. This is from Am I the Asshole? For letting my daughter stay with me and my wife after she found out that her mom lied to her. My ex and I have a 12-year-old daughter, Olivia, with autism level 2. My ex has primary custody, and I have Olivia on Wednesdays and every other weekend. A few months ago, my ex told me she was feeling a little burnt out, so she wanted us to keep Olivia from Wednesday to Sunday so she could go on a trip with some friends. Olivia is very attached to her mom, so my ex told Olivia that it was a work trip and she had to go. Last week, one of my ex's friends was at the house with my ex and Olivia, and their vacation somehow came up. Olivia figured out that the vacation was the work trip and that her mom told her about it and freaked out because her mom lied to her, and her mom doesn't lie. She hid in her room for the rest of the day, then called me and asked me to come get her. She's been with us ever since. She's really upset about this. She cries all the time because she wants her mom, but doesn't know what else her mom lied about, and she doesn't trust her. Apparently, Olivia's aide called my ex because she's been having a hard time in school. So now my ex-wife is demanding that I send Olivia home so they can get back to her routines and start working with her therapist to help her get over this. But I told her Olivia will go back when she's ready. Now she's threatening to call the police and take me back to court over custodial interference, even though we've always had a very friendly co-parenting relationship. My wife thinks we should send her back to avoid drama, but I think it should be Olivia's choice. Am I the asshole for refusing to send Olivia back after she found out her mom lied to her? Yes, you are the asshole. Yeah. Well, she's 12. They have a custodial agreement. She's autistic. And she's having problems at school because her routine's all fucked up. So I feel like he saw an in to kind of sink his claws in and is like, yes, now I can manipulate this so that I have more custody over her because her mom gave a little white lie about going on a vacation.
If there's any kernel of truth to what he's saying, though, if the 12-year-old doesn't want to go back, whether she has autism or not.
12-year-olds are stupid. What do you mean? 12-year-olds don't get to dictate the parenting plan. That's put in by the court. So, it's not like the mom's abusing the child. All she did was lie about the parameters of her trip. I want to recheck this real quick, though. She got clearance from the dad. She said she was feeling burnt out. And so she just asked if that they could take Olivia for, a couple extra days so she could go on a trip. She didn't lie to them. She just told Olivia that she was going on a work trip because she knows that her daughter's probably autistic, likes routine, is very attached to her. So she got upset because she found out that her mom gave a little white lie to her because her mom probably didn't want to hurt her feelings. The mother did nothing wrong.
The mother did nothing wrong, and yet the child had an adverse reaction to it.
Okay, well, every time she tells her daughter no to something and her daughter's feelings get hurt, does that mean that she gets to go live with her dad?
Perhaps if she's feeling so burnt out, and if the mom feels comfortable enough to disrupt Olivia's routine and say, can you please keep Olivia from Wednesday to Sunday, then perhaps there needs to be a revisit to the parenting plan.
A girl can't take... And how do we know that the ex and the, his new wife haven't been like, hey, can you keep her this weekend? We're going on vacation. I'm under the impression that most amicable co-parenting situations, there might be times where you're like, hey, can I take her for this extra day? We're going on vacation. Or can you keep her this day because we're going on vacation? There's probably a couple back and forth. Girl goes on one vacation because she's burnt out a little bit. They say it's okay. And then they're like, oh, it's not okay. She's upset because you lied about the parameters of the vacation. Are you kidding me? Yeah, he's the asshole. And she's having a hard time at school now because it's interrupted her daily routine.
Is he keeping Olivia from going back? Or is he not enforcing it? Is he saying, no, Olivia has to stay here because you lied to her? Or is he saying Olivia's upset because she feels like you lied to her and she doesn't want to go back?
Okay, so then you all go together and sit down and have a conversation about it. You don't then keep her away from the court-ordered family custody agreement. She can call the police. Is that what he wants, for her to call the police? Because, he legally has to send her back. And the mom sounds like she's a fine mom.
I'm not saying that the mom's a bad mom. I'm not saying that the mom's a bad mom. But depending upon the state, and I think most states would probably see this situation and ask, what caused the disruption? The child wanted to stay with me. And obviously, if there's enough flexibility in the parenting plan that they can amend it on the fly, hey, can she stay with you from Wednesday to Sunday? Then there's established trust. And calling the police and then trying to enforce the parenting plan after you chose to temporarily amend the parenting plan.
For 2 days. For 2 days out of the whole year, you're being obtuse.
Sure.
Well, I'm going to say the asshole.
Not the asshole.
This is from r/advice. I think I'm in love with my surrogate. This is a very bizarre situation, and I need to tell someone about it, or I think I'll go crazy. I'll try to keep the details as vague as possible. 8 years ago, I, 36 female, was told that I'll never be able to have children on my own. I was a bit heartbroken because I've always wanted kids, but I think I got over it quickly. I thought I'd adopt. Last year, I started looking into surrogacy. I realized that was what I wanted to do, even though it's very uncommon to find women getting surrogates. That's how I met Sarah, through a fertility clinic. Sarah, 29 female, is an amazing woman. She's a very outgoing personality, she's incredibly funny, and she's just really pleasant person to be around. She got pregnant fairly quickly, around November of last year. I wasn't really sure what the rules were for having a surrogate, so I guess I treated her like a friend who just happened to be carrying my baby. I don't really have any friends or family, so this pregnancy naturally became my main focus. I would constantly ask her for updates. I will admit I was very nervous and a bit too overbearing. We hung out a lot when she was pregnant, like almost 3 times a week. She even helped me set up the nursery, and we had a mini gender reveal, but I never really thought of her as anything more than the woman helping me become a mother. She gave birth to a healthy baby boy on the 19th of August. I was with her the entire time. It was a terrifying experience, but it was also amazing. We kept we kept in touch after the birth. I would send her updates and she would ask how we were both doing, and we had lunch every now and then. We didn't talk much, and I started missing her a lot. But now I chalk it up but just chalked it up to me missing someone who was a big part of my life for almost a year. And again, I didn't think I thought of her like that. I'm slowly coming to realize that I might have a crush on her and I have no idea what to do. I haven't said anything yet because I don't want to make her uncomfortable. The last thing I want to do is ruin our friendship. I don't even know if I really like her. Maybe I'm just lonely and insanely grateful for what she did. Do I say anything? My son is just amazing. I still can't believe I'm a mother. It feels unreal. Leave that poor girl alone.
Yeah. You're not even sure if you're in love with her.
No, don't. Just don't. Oh my gosh. I think it's great if you found somebody you really enjoy and she wants to keep in touch with you and you guys want to be friends. I mean, by all means, like go grab some lunch, spend some time together. Do not tell this poor girl that you might have a crush on her.
Yeah, don't.
That's basically your employee, to be honest with you. And maybe you're a boss who is also friendly with your employees, but like you paid her to have a baby. That's great. That's a really...
It'd be inappropriate in almost any other scenario or setting.
It seems extra inappropriate in this one. My advice would be say nothing.
Do nothing.
Moving on. This is from r/advice. How do I explain that a leotard is not an adequate outfit to a 5-year-old? I have a friend. That friend has a husband. And together they have a 5-year-old girl. I'm her honorary auntie and take her to ballet and gymnastics on Sundays. I cannot get it across to them that, at minimum, their daughter needs to wear pants over her leotard, not for her classes, but for the time in between when we get lunch or go to the library. Yes, the leotard covers the minimum required, but she's uncomfortable sitting down with bare legs in a restaurant or wherever, and if and when she trips, there's nothing to mitigate scrapes. And let's be real, they're disgustingly horrible people out there. I've explained this gently several times. Niece needs an outfit over her leotard, sitting uncomfortable otherwise. I've provided everything she needs. Leotard, tights, tracksuits. They still give her nothing but the leotard. How do I, once and for all, get them to understand that they have to dress their kid? Well, honestly, my biggest priority would be to explain to them how creepy perverts are out in public and that there's a controlled environment, like a kids dance class where it's mostly other parents. They normally don't let strangers in off the streets. And I would be like, listen, I love you. I adore your kid, obviously. You either need to put some pants on her so if we go out afterwards or in between, she's not cold, she's clothed, and to stop creeps from looking at her, or I will no longer be participating in helping you because it makes me uncomfortable for her.
If she's not the one paying for the gymnastics class, she's just the one taking her to gymnastics class. I hate direct confrontation with people in my personal life. So I think going there to pick up the kid and be like, oh, where's your pants? We can't go until you got your pants on. You forgot your pants, silly. Oh no, we're going to be late. We need your pants. And do it really loud and obnoxious so the parents hear. Where's your pants? We need your pants. We can't go without your pants.
She's picking her up. Did I read that wrong? She takes her to ballet and gymnastics. So, you mean she'll be at home yelling, where are your pants? Maybe she should make a go bag, like a bug out bag in her own car full of just children's pants.
No, because that's still enabling the parents.
I think that it is super irresponsible to not send her out in clothes anyway. It's probably fucking cold.
We don't know where they are.
True, maybe there's someplace tropical.
Arizona.
Move.
Don't you have to, you either have to talk to the parents directly, or you have to annoy the living hell out of them by correcting the issue in front of them and shaming them.
Yeah. Okay.
That's it.
That's it. All right. Well, my handsome navigator, we hit some bumpy parts on the road during this Stories from Reddit, didn't we?
We only lost Annabelle and Clarabelle.
Did we make it to the high ground?
We lost our wagon when we tried to forge the river, but we made it.
We did it. We made it to the high ground. Well, thanks for joining us. There's always room in the back of our wagon for you if you want to join us next time for the next episode of Stories from Reddit. Bye. It's going to be embarrassing if it wasn't.